Dynamite Picks. Boom goes the dynamite.
Hey everybody, Dynamite David here, and welcome to the Winning Daily Podcast. We're back for another week of picks, but first let's find out how I did last week.
All right, Dynamite David. He wasn't good, but he certainly wasn't bad. He started off hot on Friday with a Manchester City -1.5, -105, a 1-unit win there. On Saturday, continued his hot streak with Arsenal. First half over 1.5 goals, +180, 1-unit bet on that one. Luos came in there, Arsenal -2.5, +170, 2-unit, and that was his play of the week on social media. Fulham, draw no bet, +125, 1-unit win on that one. Brighton, -1.5, -105, 2-unit play there, a winner. It starts to go downhill on Sunday, though. Checking out Chelsea and Liverpool, just a bad overall day. Liverpool to win, both to score, +320, 1-unit play was a loss. Liverpool, -0.5, +130, 1-unit play was a loss. Tottenham, Brentford, a little win, a little loss. Tottenham to win, both to score, +320. 1-unit play on that one was a loss. Tottenham to come from behind, win or draw, +350. Dynamite David's best play of the week. A half-unit play on that one was a winner. And then we move to Monday. Tough go down on that one. Manchester United, Wolves. Rashford to score. Manchester United -1.5 parlay, +180. Did not hit the mark on that one. Dynamite David won a total of $1,914.29, $2,000 in losses with a total of a negative $85.71. His new balance on the soccer season, $24,914.29. Back to you. What do you got for us this week, Dynamite?
So we almost broke even last week. Let's look to improve this week. We've got a few more leagues kicking off, and I've dabbled a little bit outside of the EPL. So let's see what we got. Starting first with Friday in the EPL. We've got Nottingham Forest versus Sheffield United. I've got a handful of plays here. Just kind of going off some impressions from both these teams in week one. I thought the Blades looked kind of rough at home, opening up with a 1-0 loss to the Crystal Palace, while Nottingham Forest looked pretty decent on the road against Arsenal, managing to get a goal and actually kind of scaring the Gunners there late in that game. So I'm going to go with Forest here at home. I've got them money line, 1-unit play at -122. And I've also sprinkled a little bit. I've got a corner unit play on each one of these. I've got the 1-0 at +575, the 2-0 at +800, and the 2-1 at +850. I think if the Blades do manage to get a goal, Forest is going to do enough to still get the W there. That's why I like the money line play. So I've got 4 plays in that game. Moving on, we're going to go into the Bundesliga in this one. We've got Werder Bremen versus Bayern Munich also on Friday. Munich had a tough go the last game they had last week in their German Cup. I think they're going to be looking to get things back on track in this one. I see a lot of goals here. Now, while they are going to get a lot of goals, I think they let at least one by, so I've got both to score, Bayern Munich to win at +125. I've got a 2-unit play on that, and then I'm going to start a little over pyramid here. I've got 1 unit on the over 3.5 at -130, a half unit on the over 4.5 at +175, and another half unit on the over 5.5 at +350. Let's get 6 goals and hit all of these bets. Next up, we're going back to EPL. I've got this down on Friday. This may be a Saturday game. I may have messed this one up here. But anyway, we're going to go to this one. I've got Liverpool versus Bournemouth. I've got Liverpool to win both halves at +125. I've got 1 unit on that. That's about the only play I could find in this one. I wanted to go a lot of different ways. I think Liverpool's going to want to bounce back, especially with a home game after their tough outing last week. They're going to want to come out and get some things rolling. So I'm going to get them to win both halves at +125. Now we're going to take another Friday match in the French League with Metz versus Marseille. I like Marseille in this one, and the money line's not juiced too bad, minus 135. I've got 2 units on that. I just think they're the better team, and despite being on the road, they're going to get the W here. All right, now we're going to get to the rest of our Saturday plays. Starting out in La Liga, I'm going to take Real Sociedad minus half a goal, so basically the money line at minus 135. I've got that 1 unit play versus Celta Vigo. Also, going back to the Bundesliga, I've got in Bayern Leverkusen versus Red Bull Leipzig. I'm going to take the over 3.5 at plus 160 in this one. I think this is another Bundesliga game. We're going to see a lot of goals. Got a 1 unit play there. Now we're going to go over to Italian Serie A. Frosinone versus Napoli. I probably butchered that. I'm going to take Napoli minus 1.5 here at even money plus 100. I've got a 1 unit play there. I think Napoli is going to open up the season well. And then moving on to a game that I'm going to be interested in, Tottenham versus Man U. I've got a couple overplays here. I think Tottenham proved that they can score goals, but they also proved that they're going to give up a lot of goals. And Man U is going to want to get some goals after their really poor outing this last week. So I'm going to play over 3.5 plus 145. I've got 3 units on this one. I think we're going to at least get 4. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the over 4.5 at plus 290. I've got 1 unit there. Next up, Man City versus Newcastle. This is probably the game of the week in the Premier League. I'm going to take the over 2.5 minus 135, 2 unit play there. And then the over 3.5 at plus 170, 1 unit there. To wrap things up in my head-to-head bets here, I've got West Ham versus Chelsea. I'm going to take Chelsea on the money line there, minus 110, 2 units there. I think they're going to get the W after a decent outing, getting the draw last week. And then finally, to wrap up all my picks this week, I'm going to do a 5-pick money line parlay. I'm taking Arsenal, Chelsea, Napoli, Marseille, and PSG. All for 973, almost 10-1 there. I'm throwing a unit on that, and we'll see what we can do. That wraps things up for this week's picks. Be sure to look for my counterparts, Champ Chesterfield's Winning Daily later, and be sure to check out the Wager Zone podcast for all of our previews. We've got football, NFL, and, of course, more soccer.
Dynamite picks. Boom goes the dynamite.